Ladies and gentlemen, final morning of the Revolution Washington World Tour stop in France. Here we are walking by yet another ridiculous piece of evidence about why the 1% is going way too fucking far. We've got people like Donald Jackass Trump that we have to deal with in our country, and people around this world are assuming we chose that fate, which is something I've been trying to dispel personally, because ever since I've been here, I've been talking to people. Yeah. So what I've learned is the information they're getting about why he's in office and how he got in office is because we chose it, which is why there's animosity about American people, which is something that pisses me off because we're better than that. But so are they. They don't know any better because the only information they get is the equivalent of Rupert Murdoch, Fox News, Newsmax, and all the Trump MAGA shit. So when you're looking at all these things and you're looking through all of the information that's coming out and all the animosity, and you recognize that governments all over the world have very similar mindsets going on. And the perfect example is something like Venice and the way everything happened in Venice with all the small businesses going out after all the tragedies and all these big boys coming in with their billion-dollar showrooms. It's like Beverly Hills worldwide exploded. And the 99% who can't shop in there every day, maybe if at all, see it as, wow, one day I'll be able to do this. It's the hope. It's the American dream. It's seeing the billionaires. It's seeing the multi-billionaires that pay no taxes, so we pay more. Because one day when we bust our ass at our 100-hour-a-week job, we'll be able to buy a $30,000 handbag from Dolce & fucking Gabbana because they say so, it's gold and it looks pretty. Bullshit. Because as we work two jobs, as we struggle through every day to find bread and food for our kids and pay rent, these people are building more and more of a separation across the board. Because the people in charge of setting tax rates and where all the money goes are the same people who send the subsidies to the big companies that don't need the money, like Amazon, like Apple, like these fuckers with all these things. That's where the disgust comes in, but it still isn't enough to crack the nut of people who dream too much. And when I say dream too much, I'm not saying because you can never dream too much, but making the false equivalency that when you're surrounded by these Dolce, Gabbana, Prada, all this bullshit, that one day it's going to be a daily shopping trip for each and every one of us. Because Donald Jackass Trump says so, right? As he takes away Social Security from veterans, as he takes away benefits from veterans with no fucking legs because they dedicated their legs, their lives, and their families to protecting countries like America. And in America, we have Donald Jackass Trump canceling over 300,000 veterans workers, including veterans themselves. Now he's going after the post office. Now he's going after everything else. And everyone around the world thinks America chose this. Everyone around the world had faith in the American democracy that it was done correctly. They didn't know that Elon Musk, that freaking Vladimir Putin and all that bullshit were the reasons he's in. They didn't know that there was 89 million votes that never counted. They didn't know that the margin of supposed victory for Donald Jackass Trump himself was 223,000 votes. They had no idea that a majority of Americans do not like him. They don't know that we feel the same way they do. So I encourage the Revolution Washington family and the worldwide family I just started meeting in this amazing trip, and recognize that there's a lot we can do fighting side by side together. There's a lot we can do if we do it peacefully, we do it intelligently. We start closing that gap. We start bringing that 99% to maybe 50. Or maybe less. We'll give the 1% the Dolce & Gabbana and Prada. We'll give them all this happy horse shit that they fight so hard to have. We'll give it to them because you know what? They have the money. Good for them. Let's see what's left after they pay taxes like the fucking rest of us. Let's see what's left after the big corporations who get the hundreds of millions of dollars in subsidies don't do that anymore. And oh darn, they have to pay their employees legally and pay overtime, unlike something Donald Jackass Trump himself brags about not doing. Because when someone like Trump gets into power, people around them automatically assume they can get away with anything they want. When people like the J6 douchebags get away scot-free, they're empowered. So you've got the oligarchy with all their money. You've got them not paying taxes. You've got small business being wiped out by tragedy, like floods in Venice and things like that. Then you've got these big billion-dollar hoity-toity companies coming and taking over the real estate. Now, how much of a balance does that give the small businesses that built these fucking countries? How much does that actually balance stuff out for the rest of us? Because I'm sorry, looking in the windows of Dolce & Gabbana and all that is nice, but a $30,000 purse shouldn't be on anyone's fucking arm. And if it is, they better be taking care of other people besides their Bentleys and their puppies or whatever the hell, their mistresses. Because that's what it's supposed to be. Because I got news for each and every one of them. Good for you. Good for you with your Bentleys, your Aston Martins must be nice. Good for you being able to buy a $50,000 handbag. But that $50,000 can actually take care of veterans for a very long time. That $50,000 can feed a bunch of kids. They could get medical care in places they need it the most. That could actually be sent to places like Ukraine, Gaza. People that deserve it, that are having their lives destroyed by these rich fuckers who don't care. Now, I'm all for capitalism. I'm all for success. I hope every single one of us that sees this video experiences success and experiences the opportunity to go in and buy one of these damn things if they want to. But society shouldn't be built around that. It shouldn't be built around the 1% having everything they want worldwide. And good people in every single country thinks we are the reason America is screwing everybody over. That we chose all these things that this douche nugget is doing. So when the tangerine turd, when Donald von Schitzenpants actually pisses enough people off, there will be craziness. And when there's something going on politically with everyone around the world and different countries are being destroyed because the greed and the links between government and these 1% companies that don't pay taxes and aren't forced to do what the other 99% are doing. What they don't realize is that is a long-term problem being created. I'm proud of everyone who's successful. It's a difficult road. Because if you're blessed enough to never feel the pain of financial troubles, if you're gifted in life to be born into a silver spoon family, but yet you keep the balance of reality and humanity and kindness within you in the process, and instead of buying your Bentley, you buy your whatever, and you support the people around you, you support the small businesses, you live your life to earn the money you need to earn to do something besides buying bullshit like this. Because the rising tide lifts all boats. And the people with the ability to make a difference need to start focusing on making a difference. Because you can't make $1 billion, pretend politics is okay all over the world, and yet not wrap your head around the fact that no one in this world has lived a life quite like yours. And you can't pretend to have humanity and want kindness and then turn your back when the rest of the world who doesn't have your blessings needs it the most. So when I tell you that this tour has opened my eyes on levels I never expected, when I tell you the people that I have met have educated me in different layers of empathy that I don't think I've ever experienced, and I will carry with me for the rest of my life. So I thank all of my new friends. I love you all dearly. You are family. To everyone else, just learning, just being scared. Everyone else that wants this changed, it's time to step up and do so. We're not going to have many chances to fix this. So let's unite. Let's stop with the fear-based existence. And please, ladies and gentlemen, don't ever think it's over. Don't ever think there's nothing that can be done. Don't ever think that if we stand shoulder to shoulder worldwide, we can't beat these fuckers at their own game. We need to use intelligence. We need to use fact-based actions. And once we learn how to do that and actually treat people with kindness, no matter how fat our wallets are, we will realize this world's going to be a much better place. So ladies and gentlemen, please, on the final day of the Revolution Washington Tour, thank you very, very much. Stay diligent, stay educated, and be kind, because we are all in this together. God bless you all. Stay safe, stay strong. We got this. Resist and don't fucking stop. Love you all.